Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, guys. So today we have a lot of updates regarding Iran, and we need to go through them quick because we only have an hour and a half before our group call starts. Me and Sketch are going to go to the group call. And oh, yes, by the way, I shouldn't be calling you Sketch anymore. I should be calling you Grease Monkey. Hi, Grease Monkey.
Hello, David and Shalom.
Durud and Shalom. Okay. But before we go to the updates regarding Iran, I think it's important acknowledging what just happened in Venezuela with regards to the earthquake. Sorry, Venezuela. I mean, hopefully, I know, let me actually just play it. So if you guys know what's exactly happening before we talk about it. So our thoughts are with you. But here, let me play this.
A Fox News alert and a live look at Venezuela, where deadly earthquakes have ripped apart the country, causing catastrophic damage while killing at least 32 people. A live report in moments on what is happening right now.
And Democrat leaders are none too happy that socialists are taking over the party, but
I want to go to Venezuela.
And he 50.
Independence
Go over. Go
studio
Venezuela.
with the very latest change.
After the strongest earthquakes in over a Venezuelan president has declared a state of emergency after the strongest earthquakes in over a century there hit back to back last night, killing dozens of people, injuring hundreds, and causing widespread destruction and devastation. Here.
So 32 dead, 700 injured.
Here's a live look right now. They're in the capital city of Caracas. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, a magnitude 7.2 quake struck roughly 100 miles west of Caracas, followed by a 7.5 magnitude tremor just a minute later. The Interior Minister saying the quake shook several states in the country, and more than 20 aftershocks have also been felt. The USGS also warning of high casualties, possibly in the tens of thousands, and of course, extensive economic damage. Rescuers and first responders can still be seen digging through the rubble, searching for survivors. There are reports that people could be heard calling out for help from the wreckage. Buildings there are without power. Many structures are now reduced to rubble. Officials have completely closed the train and metro systems, and the international airport there has also been shut down after parts of the ceiling collapsed. Some posting chaotic social media footage capturing just terrified passengers scrambling for safety and shielding their families as those ceiling panels collapsed and sparks flew everywhere. Well, as of right now, the acting president is confirming at least 32 deaths and some 700 people injured. That number
I'm sure the number is going to be a lot higher than that going forward.
is expected to grow, of course. President Trump took to Truth Social saying this quote, "The USA stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends." Secretary of State Marco Rubio also echoing those sentiments with this quote, "America stands with the Venezuelan people during this difficult time and at the direction of President Trump. The State Department is immediately deploying search and rescue teams, medical resources, and humanitarian assistance to Venezuela." Well, U.S. officials have already mobilized those teams and sent those search and rescue teams, that humanitarian supplies, and other resources. At the time of the quakes, the country was actually celebrating a national holiday. So many of the people were at home and inside when those quakes struck, guys.
Just catastrophic is the word for it. And it wasn't just Venezuela. There were also earthquakes in Japan and also Northern California yesterday. So we're going to be talking about why all of this happened on one day alone, and also, of course, what is to come today.
Yeah, and the death tolls that are being talked about are catastrophically high. We're going to have more on that coming up. Shanley, thank you for bringing.
That is horrible. And then President Trump posted about this, saying the two major earthquakes that just hit the great people of Venezuela are both massive in scale and have left a devastating number of deaths. The USA stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends. Early reports are not good. President Donald J. Trump. What do you think, Sketch? I mean, Grease Monkey, sorry.
I don't have an appropriate face for this. I'm not angry. I'm sad. It makes me sad to see these people hurt. It makes me sad to know that natural disasters are going to happen. I would be happy to know that we can help. That's what comes to my mind. We do have a lot of technology. We do have a lot of resources to help, and it is better that it be now than before when the relationship was not so good. Now they would be more willing to accept that help, and any help that we can give to our brothers and sisters over there. We would love to see that happen. We know time is of the essence in these types of situations, especially when people are trapped because of just the nature of the situation. And I hope we can help as soon as possible.
Yeah. I see. Nina put a super chat. Thank you so much, Nina, saying, "What if Maduro was in charge? How much of a difference would that make, in your opinion? If Maduro was in charge, would they not be able to receive help from the United States if he was in charge?"
There would be more doubts as to where that help would go. There would be less oversight. He might allow rescue teams in, but it would be under supervision. He would be more looking for help from China or Russia or something like that. It would be politicized to a great degree. We have seen this before, where China has an earthquake and they won't accept help from Japan, stuff like that. So I think it would not go as well. And especially when it comes to relief, because in these types of situations, we saw this in Haiti, sadly, and in a lot of places when there's earthquakes, there are people that take advantage of these situations, especially when it comes to aid. So more supervision of aid in any country is better.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's actually now go back to Iran updates, and let's look at this so that everybody's on the same page, and then we'll talk about what's happening. I was also on the news and on I-24, and I already got the clip, the segment for it, and we'll go over that as well. You guys could give me the feedback regarding how I did, but let's see what the new updates are. If we could play this.
Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's done. And thanks to the power and skill of the United States Armed Forces, today Iran has no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft capacity, no missile launches, no manufacturing, and their leadership has been obliterated. And for the first time in 3,000 years, we are finally going to have peace in the Middle East. We're going to have peace in the Middle East.
President Trump declaring the beginning of an era of peace for the Middle East as he hopes to work toward that historic agreement with Iran. We're in that 60-day period now where they've got to come to the table about nuclear weapons and not having them, and inspections and all of that. Tensions, though, on the ground are pretty.
So one thing, the Islamic Republic is saying there's no inspectors coming. We haven't agreed to that. But United States is saying not only we have agreed to that, where there's going to be U.S. inspectors. So this is one of those lies from the Islamic Republic. I mean, if it is lies, usually they lie. But assuming that this is also another lie, this is really hard to manage, because usually when the Islamic Republic lies, they lie about things that the regime supporters will not be able to verify for at least for a while. This one, I don't know how they can get away with saying that there's not going to be inspectors. We haven't agreed to inspectors. And once the inspectors come into to Iran, maybe they could get away with it by saying that we didn't agree to it then, but then later on we agreed. But this is going to be really hard for the Islamic Republic to get around. It's going to be very, very humiliating. Right now, I'll show you the memes. There's a whole new, fresh set of memes that I have from you that the Iranians are sharing regarding the level of humiliation that the Islamic Republic is going through because of the Islamic Republic accepting to buy, American corn and hay in exchange for United States allowing them to sell their oil. This after the Islamic Republic claimed that they're going to get the greatest revenge for killing the supreme leader, sinking U.S. President Blinken, destroying Israel, killing President Trump. We went from that claim to now the Islamic Republic promising that not promising. There's no thing. Nobody's going to trust them. Being forced to spend their oil money on American food, instead of actually managing to be able to any of that. So this is already a huge level of humiliation. Ghalibaf is saying that's not really happening. Ghalibaf is telling the pro-regime people that no, we actually can't sell our oil right now. We can spend it on whatever we want. This is a lie. This is something that Ghalibaf can get away with because it's really hard to verify this. Like, it's really hard. So Ghalibaf could say, like, no, we're getting our oil money and we could get food from wherever we want. Even if you get American food, like, how do you check if it's American food, right? They could remove the branding and everything from it. But they could buy American food. They could get forced to buy American food, and then the Ghalibaf could pretend that that didn't actually happen. And they're pro-regime people, like, how exactly they're going to go verify that? The good thing, though, is that now I'm seeing that the pro-regime people are believing the actual news, right? Here's a beautiful thing, Sketch. Let me tell you what you think about this. When Ali Khamenei came and told regime supporters that this is what's actually happening, even though it was bullshit, they would believe him. They were like, okay, he said it, so it's happening. But Ghalibaf, when Ghalibaf comes and says the Americans are lying, here's the truth. The pro-regime Durka jihadi people, they don't believe Ghalibaf. They're believing the Americans. So they're already accepting that this is humiliating. And even if Ghalibaf comes and tells them this is not what's happening, he's no Ali Khamenei. So they're not believing what he's saying. Telling them. So the humiliation is to the max right now. So what do you think about that before I go forward with the rest of this?
Well, the biggest problem they have is that the cardboard Ayatollah can't talk. So he's not confirming any of this. And even if he could, he probably wouldn't, because he likes to play the old, hey, I didn't want it to happen, but it already did. That's a problem they have. The internet being on is another problem, because everybody's looking at all sides. Right. And, because they hate this guy so much, they're able to see different views. And as soon as you're open to different views, you're kind of like forcing critical thinking, because they have to compare. And what is most likely? That forces thought. When you have only one source of news, you live in an echo chamber. It's very easy to not have to think about it. Now that you have two views, you have to think about it. And if they start thinking, they're not going to think that Ghalibaf is telling the truth. Right. So another side of this, I would say, is, well, who says that this is the lie? Is it the news that favors who? Is it the news that's a mouthpiece for him? Well, they're not going to believe that, because that news is a mouthpiece for him. Is the news like because I don't understand how the news flows in Iran. I don't say, well, they say it's a lie. Okay, but there's different news sources in Iran. Who says it's a lie? Does everyone say it's a lie? Do people say it's a lie that Ghalibaf is saying, or is the news says no, Ghalibaf is lying? It is what's going to happen. So I don't understand how that's flowing over there. Maybe the meme review will reveal some of this, but I'd love to see.
We're going to have the meme review, which is going to be very educational about what's happening within Iran right now and the humiliation that people are dealing with. Oh, wait, somebody is saying, Armin, did you see the JD Vance's latest dumb fuck statement? Which one? I'm gonna check what you're talking about. I have a lot of Marco Rubio videos that we need to go through. You're gonna make me go through, oh no, you're gonna make me go through JD Vance's videos. I have to go do, okay, I'll do that. I'll check that. But let me actually quickly respond to the super chat that we got so far. And then we have Steak and Beans. Thank you so much for the gift basket. 10 membership gifts for the people in the chat. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying greetings from me. Well, thank you. And then a second one, greetings from me. Double the greetings. Thank you so much for that. And then we have Wyatt with the super chat saying something high in the U.S. military. Someone high in the U.S. military told me Trump isn't playing 5D chess. He wants out of the war. He is pissed at Bibi because he thinks Bibi lied to him. He is purging officers who disagree with him. What do you think about that, Grease Monkey? I have to get used to your new name. Grease Monkey, what do you think?
Well, my response to something like this is, someone told me. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that person is telling the truth. I would have to vet the source. I would have to vet the person. Is this a person that always hates Trump? Is this a person that likes Trump? Like if you hate Trump, but you have some source inside that told you something, I'm gonna have my doubts. Do you hate Trump? Do you love Trump? That's number one. Number two, why do I know that you know someone close? I mean, I appreciate the support. That's not gonna make me believe.
But is it possible? Like, do you see this as something that is, possible or likely to be true? Like, I'm not saying if it is true, but is it like within the realm of, is it possible enough that you would take it seriously?
If officers were being purged, that is news we would see. So I would just Google if any officers have been purged and what their stance is.
No, but do you think it's possible here? Like, how possible do you find it? Do you see that Trump is not doing 5D chess? He wants out of this war, and he's angry with Bibi because he thinks Bibi lied to him regarding what's possible with this war. How likely do you see that scenario?
I don't believe it.
Okay. All right, and then we have Fleshy Interloper with a super chat. I to me, I'm not saying it's not what's happening. I think it is something that we should consider as an option. Like, I think like a lot of people are saying that this is the case, and they're too certain that this is the case, and I think that's too extreme. But I think also completely dismissing it as an option is also too extreme on the other side. That's what I think. That's my take, at least. Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much for the super chat, saying traffic in Strait at 50%, including dark transits. Oh, so that's an increase compared to before. What is Brent at right now? Brent crude oil. Oh my God, it's at 73. Look at that. 74, technically. That's a beautiful drop. Love to see. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know how you're seeing dark transits, by the way, Fleshy Interloper. Like, that's I don't. How are you seeing that? And Wyatt with another super chat saying Trump is pissed at Bibi because Bibi told him if he got rid of the leaders, Iran would quickly surrender. It didn't. He already forced out 3 generals. So we'll look at Wyatt. So we will keep an eye on that, see if that's if that gets verified, because we can't know that this is true based on hearsay and rumors, right? So
saying someone high in the military would be in the office during these diplomatic talks between Bibi and Trump, someone high in the military wouldn't be there. The people who would be there is Hegseth. I don't think his buddy is Hegseth. I don't think that's someone who's talking to him.
But these things do have a habit of getting leaked out, so it's not impossible for him to, like, when I get a message like this, I'm not going to obviously 100% believe in it, but I am going to, it is going to make me keep an eye for evidence for it. Like, I'm not going to take the claim as if this shows that this has happened, but it is important. Like, when people say, like, the rumors are not evidence, but it does make me look out for actual evidence when people give me these rumors.
I would have believed it more if he hadn't said someone in the military leaked this.
Well, I mean, it could be true.
I'm just like, you're putting too much weight on it, on something that can't be verified from someone in the military that's going to leak deep talks. Like, I see it as a possibility in my brain, but not that you understand. Like, I see it as a possibility in my brain. Like, yeah, that is a possibility that could happen. But if you're putting that much weight behind it, I'm like, you're going too far. Just tell me that's what you think, and I might agree. But you put that much weight on it.
That's what they're saying. But that's what they're saying. They're not telling us to believe them. They're telling us what they believe in, and we could just keep it as an option. Like, I think if a statement like that doesn't come with the expectation that we immediately believe it, right? It's a communication of what they believe based on what he has seen, and for us to consider it as an option that is there. Like, it doesn't come with the assumption that, hey, I'm telling you this, so you must believe it. A comment like this. That's how I see it, at least.
Well, the way I see it, it's tied to the previous mentions that someone in the military high up told me this is what happened. Yeah.
So for him, for him, because he knows who that is, that might be good enough, but it doesn't come with the expectation that it didn't say like, oh, somebody high up in the military said this to me, so you must believe what I'm saying. He didn't say that. It's just out there for us to consider as an option. You know what I mean? It didn't come with the demand that we have to believe it 100%.
personally, this is just me. Nobody has to be like me. I automatically distrust anecdotal evidence, especially unconfirmed.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Automatically.
I know. I'm saying this, and then we will move on from this because I don't want to. I think when somebody's giving us an anecdote, they're not, unless they say it. I'm not gonna assume that they're telling me that I have to believe in what they're saying. You know what I mean? They're sharing an anecdote, and you could do whatever you want with it. I'm not gonna attack them for sharing an anecdote with me because it didn't come with the demand that believe in what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Anyways. But let me go to the next. So Black Cat, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that, becoming a member. Let's go through the news updates quickly before we go to. I want to go through the news updates, and then I have my news segment that I did on I-24. You guys tell me how I did, and then we're gonna go through the internal news from inside the Islamic Republic, which you're not gonna get anywhere else except here.
High as the country draws a new hard line on the Strait of Hormuz. That radical Islamic regime has now said safe passage is only possible through the Strait of Hormuz through routes that it has designed and that it still plans to impose what it calls maritime service fees. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
We've reached a point now in this where you're hearing, for example, the Iranians will say one thing, but then something else is actually happening. So here's what I would tell everybody. It's now obvious to us, and I think should be obvious to all of you, that the Iranian system is going to continue to produce all sorts of maximalist rhetoric.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yinks is in the Middle East. Trey.
Harris, good morning. Shipping data tracker Kepler told Fox Business 69 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday, marking a new record since March 1st. This does come as America's top diplomat, Marco Rubio, is in the Middle East meeting with counterparts about the war and also keeping the strait open and toll-free.
What we're interested in is not their press conferences. What we're interested in is whether or not ships are moving. If ships are moving as they should be moving, then that's what we're going to judge and that's what we're going to react to. If, on the other hand, this rhetoric is backed up by actual ships being threatened and ships are not moving, that's a violation of the agreement, and we're going to have a problem with it.
Technical discussions between the United States and Iran are set to resume next week. According to the Pakistani Foreign Ministry, the ceasefire between the two countries is moving forward.
So, you know, guys, I know some people are not going to like me saying this, but I trust what comes out of Marco Rubio's mouth more than the rest of the White House. So, I'm sorry, but I think, in my opinion, Marco Rubio has more credibility than the rest of the White House. You know, I don't know, but yeah, okay.
While the focus remains on the strait and Iran's nuclear ambitions. On Wednesday, President Trump met with the NATO Secretary General at the White House to discuss the war with Iran and other pressing topics such as Ukraine. Next month, President Trump will travel to Turkey for the NATO summit, but says that European allies let the United States down on the issue of Iran.
We were let down. We didn't need help on this at all. We demolished them in literally the first week. But it would have been nice if they would have said, we'd like to help. I was disappointed with Italy. I was disappointed with the UK. He's now gone. We're disappointed with Germany and France. We're disappointed with most of them. Spain is a horror show.
Spain, yeah.
We're also tracking the situation in Lebanon. Those diplomatic talks between the Israeli and Lebanese governments do continue, aimed at disarming Hezbollah. The Iranians continue to comment on the situation.
Again, guys, every time saying that Lebanese and Israeli continue to talk to disarm Hezbollah, every time you hear that, just say to yourself, bullshit. There is no, Lebanese army is weak. They cannot do anything against Hezbollah. You don't need talks between the Lebanese and Israel to disarm Hezbollah. You should just, the best way to disarm Hezbollah is to kill Hezbollah. The best way to kill Hezbollah is get out of the way of Israel and let them do what they do best. Honestly, I think if we didn't stop Israel, there would be no Hamas and Hezbollah by now. Do you agree with that, Sketch?
I mean, Israel is a great help. I can't deny that at all. I think Lebanon should just have a joint operation with Israel and just say, yeah, no, we welcome them. We're giving Lebanon, we love Israel. We're going to let them come in, and nobody can say that they're invading because we are doing a joint. We're joining against Hezbollah with Israel. So no international body can say that Israel invaded, because me, as Lebanon governor, I'm inviting them in. That's what Lebanon should do. Like having talks with Lebanon. If Israel talks to Lebanon and it just leads to, yeah, no, they're welcome in. I would love that.
Yeah, but that's too taboo in Lebanon. You know, they have to. Yeah.
Wishful thinking. I'm having some wishful thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's continue.
Saying they are demanding that IDF troops withdraw from southern Lebanon. Harris?
Trey, thank you very much. In focus now, Victoria Coates, former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump. She is also Vice President of National Security at the Heritage Foundation. Look, I think for many in our American public, there might be this question of how do we know when we're making progress?
Well, Harris, great to see you. I think we know we're making progress when we have actually ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, which we have. The secretary was absolutely correct when Secretary Rubio said that's what matters, not what they're saying on their X feeds, which are entirely propaganda for external consumption because their own people can't see X. So this is all posturing.
Their own people can't see X? What is she talking about? They're all over X. Are you fucking kidding me? What did I just hear that? They're posting propaganda. Okay, guys, Fox, bring me as an expert. This woman has no idea what she's talking about. Both anti-regime people and pro-regime people in Iran are constantly on X. What does she like? What do you mean? Like, does she think that they don't know how VPNs work in Iran? Yeah, X is blocking in Iran, but everybody and their dogs and their cats has a VPN in Iran. Wait, let me go back.
Progress.
Well, Harris, great to see you. I think we know we're making progress when we have actually ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, which we have. The secretary was absolutely correct when Secretary Rubio said that's what matters, not what they're saying on their X feeds, which are entirely propaganda for external consumption because their own people can't see X.
No, oh my God, who is she? It's not propaganda for external audience. It's actually propaganda for internal audience. It's not propaganda. First of all, even if they didn't have X, you do know they cover it on the news in Iran and it would immediately be on the news, right? That what Ghalibaf said on X, even people who don't use X, it would be on the cover of the newspaper the next fucking day. And everybody has X. Everybody on the internet in Iran has X. What are you talking about? It is propaganda. It is a lie, but it's not for external view. Who the fuck looks at Ghalibaf externally as a legitimate source of information? It's for internal, for the pro-regime people. Look at these experts who are like, hey, Fox, hire me. Not hire me, invite me as an expert. Go on, sorry, go on, Sketch. You want to say something?
I was gonna say that I think you pinned a comment and it just stayed there. Like, if you could. I'm glad they agree with me, but it's going on a little too long, and I don't know how to unpin it. I would say she does. I think she is going off it's blocked, so they don't have a way around it. Like everybody knows that in China and a lot of places where there are, even in Europe is starting to do this, there's ways around this. Not only that, even if you didn't have X, it would show up on Telegram. It would show up in other platforms that people haven't, like you would take a screenshot. People would take a screenshot and just put it in Telegram. They take a screenshot and put it in whatever app they have access to. This is also a person that I don't mean to disparage them, but they seem a little older in age, so they may not be aware of even how workarounds work, how a VPN works. So, I don't mean to like, she could just ask. She probably has a staffer around that's young and say, hey, can they see this or can't they? She should ask, but it might be like she doesn't understand the technology a little bit. Just giving her like like steel manning, straw manning. I'm with you. She probably is not aware or is lying. That's either she doesn't know how tech works or she's lying. Those are the two options. I want to go somewhere in between. She kind of knows, but kind of doesn't get the tech that people can go around it.
I'm guessing she doesn't have an account on Truth Social, and she sees Truth Social posts, so I don't know what she's talking about. But anyways, let's continue. And we got like a lot of super chats. I will get to them soon. Let me just go through this segment, and then we'll go through the super chats.
So this is all posturing around the negotiations, but what we're seeing is more and more ships come out, and commensurately, oil is around $70 a barrel, which is right in the sweet spot for the United States consumer. Now, on top of that, what are they doing in the region? Are we seeing missiles going at Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Riyadh and Doha and Jerusalem and Tel Aviv? We haven't seen a lot of that recently. The only active player appears to be Hezbollah, and they've also seemed to quiet down. So I think the president is getting results, both in terms of reestablishing free passage through the strait.
Yeah, because they don't have any money to spend on these attacks, and now they might get some of it by selling the food that they're getting.
And through diminishing, if not ending entirely, Iran's ability to project power beyond its borders.
Yeah, it is interesting that the original progress was really...
Actually, we need to stop them projecting power inside their borders as well. That's how you get regime change.
Around nuclear weapons and not letting Iran get that. And they actually have put the Strait of Hormuz right in the middle of everything right now. So we'll also look for some progress on the front of how do we make sure that those inspectors are on the ground and that we're part of that. I mean, there's still a lot to get done here, but I hear you on the strait. I mean, that's helping the entire world. I want to get to this because you mentioned Lebanon and Hezbollah. Foreign policy...
You know what? Let's go to my analysis. My analysis is better, okay? I was in the news. But before that, let me actually go to the super chats. Waya, thank you so much for the super chat saying, Chris, how do you pronounce that? Sketch?
It's Chris Donahue.
Oh, Donahue. Got forced to retire yesterday. Oh, he is third general. Look it up. People longer are also getting let go.
Can I respond to this? Because I looked it up. So he got forced out. That's an invention. They were already slated for a reduction. There's no evidence that he was forced out. Now, if you're believing leftist news that says he got forced out, but multiple people have reported it. No major reports provided specific documented arguments, meeting memo, policy flight that explains the falling out. He was more related to NATO. We're drawing down from NATO. His whole command was slated for reduction. So there is a great leap to think that they forced him out. No, maybe they were downsizing because they're not working so much with NATO because NATO's not giving us bases. So why are we going to expand NATO when NATO's not giving us bases? This gives more credence to what I was saying. What if we have another Joe Kent, another people that's bitter because of downsizing because he's not being needed anymore and he's just making up? Someone inside said it. Is that someone inside telling the truth? I don't know. It could be another Joe Kent. So, I'm glad I stand by what I said.
Okay. I mean, thank you, Wyatt, for the super chat. Justin agrees with you, saying General Donahan. Say Donahue. Donahoe. Is that how you pronounce it?
Donahue, like the hue on a TV, like a color.
Donahue had nothing to do with Operation Epic Fury. So Justin agrees with your take on this. And then we got another super chat from Fleshy Interloper saying, I posted a crazy minesweeper plan in school. Okay, let me see it. You're saying swap 4 Hunt class minesweepers for the... Okay, so this is too complicated. Minesweepers from the UK. Okay, so swap 4 Hunt class minesweepers from the UK. RN, I don't know what that is. One with Persian Gulf experience for pre-positioned... Okay, I don't, guys, this is like a heavy advanced stuff. Guys, make sure you go to our group discussion. Fleshy Interloper has like some really crazy deep analysis on tankers, oil, whether they have movement.
Boat stuff. He knows boats.
boat stuff, even military stuff around the Persian Gulf, and he keeps a track of all of this stuff, and also minesweepers and stuff like that. He puts a lot of deep thoughts and analysis with data there, and if you go to our discussion group, you can see that he's posting there. Also, Agent Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat, saying Arabs take Latino pride to a whole other level. What is this? I don't understand this. Do you understand this, Sketch?
I'm not very sure, but thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. Okay, so if those who know, and it's not us. Danny, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, why would Trump just trust Bibi? USA has great intel. I mean, fair point. Well, to be fair though, Israeli intelligence in the Middle East is hard to compete with. Really hard to compete with. Yeah, you could have the best intelligence in the world, but if you are not active on the ground in the field with people in the field collecting information for you and doing missions and operations, your intelligence is, far and above even the superpower on the planet. That's my understanding. You could and Israel has so many spies everywhere and has so much experience on the ground in the Middle East. I don't think United States has as much intel as Israel in the Middle East, especially in Iran. Maybe like so for example, Israel doesn't have that much intel in Yemen, for example. But when it comes to Iran, the level of intelligence that they have is unmatchable. That's my understanding. You agree with that, Grease Monkey?
I think because of the proximity and the amount of agents that they have on the ground in many of these places, not just, and agents, remember, it could be like a local that is against what's happening locally, and they decide, you know what, Israel should know what's going on here. Because of the kind of on the ground intel that Israel has in many of these Persian Gulf states, I would put their intel at a very high level.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got a last super chat from Rafi saying, be honest, if USA gives full green light to Israel, no limits, Islamic Republic was down by now. Would IRGC still excuse to the close of Hormuz if it's only Israel? Would IRGC still what? Will be able to close the Strait of Hormuz if it was only Israel. So okay, so so I agree and disagree. I agree that if the United States keeps giving Israel the green light and without stopping them, by now the IRGC would be over. And that's my opinion. I wish the United States, everything was going very well with Operation Epic Fury. And I think I agree with the first part, that if USA just allowed Israel to continue down that path, I think by now the IRGC would have fallen, right? Well, not by now, maybe not by now, but soon, we will get to it much faster. Maybe by now, maybe like a few months from now. However, I don't. We also have to have this understanding that Israel would not be able to do an operation as big as Operation Roaring Lion and Epic Fury without the help of the United States. So yes, but also anything that they did do was because United States was there to back them up. Even if you say there are many things that Israel could do without, when it comes to offensive, without United States help, the response, like if Israel can do so many things offensively, sometimes even when United States help, but the thing is that when it comes to the response, and when they have to wait for the Islamic Republic to respond, then they need United States to help them defend Israel, to be ready for the response coming after. And that's why United States participation is necessary. Do you agree with that, Sketchman? Agrees, Mikey?
I think you have to understand how much these missiles could cost, how long it takes to make them, and how many were used. Like if you think Israel alone has the missile depth, the defense depth to protect not only itself, but all the Persian Gulf allies, that's a hard ask. I mean, you're asking a lot of Israel. And if Israel can't protect the Persian Gulf allies that it wants to make, because I'm pretty sure Israel would love to have a Cyrus Accord with a new Iran, the accords with all these nations to be like a more stable, more peaceful thing. But who can defend them if Iran goes crazy? If they're causing Iran to go crazy and Iran destroys their desalination plants because they just exploded 200 million gallons of oil into the Gulf and now they have no water. I mean, that's not going to go over good, right? You have to be realistic. Also, even with all the F-35 stealth jets that we sold. We didn't give them. They bought it. We're not giving away stuff. They get a little discount. We're not just sending pallets of cash to Israel. That's ridiculous. We give them a little discount because they help us not have to have our aircraft carriers there all the time, right? So even with that, the airplanes that they buy and the weapons that they buy, for them to have the satellite intelligence, the AWACS, the planes that coordinate so that you can have planes bombing all the time in and out. It's very difficult for Israel to do this alone. We're talking about constant air campaigns, talking about going after these air-to-air technologies. They're not great, but it's not like you can do it alone. Like, I think there's a little bit of fiction in that thinking Israel can do all this alone. No, they can't. We had to stop because we don't have the missiles to defend all these places and the missile. I mean, there's a little bit of fiction in that. The best way to work this is, I think the U.S. should help Israel have the technology, missile death, and all the things that it needs so that it is more powerful on its own. Like have I would like a stronger Israel than it is now. That's what would make me happy.
Yeah, me too. I agree with that. And okay, let's watch this segment that I did. Let me guys watch this, and I think I did a good job giving analysis here. But you tell me after I play this. Okay, so this was on I-24. So let's watch this.
Were targeted repeatedly by the Iranian regime in this war. Gentlemen, stay with us. We've got so much more to discuss. And as you alluded to, we will be going to Washington for updates on those crucial talks between Lebanon and Israel there in the United States. Right now, though, I want to bring in another voice. It's a pleasure to welcome Iranian political analyst Armin Navabi, founder.
How's the audio? Is it okay? I can't boost it any more than this. It's the maximum. It's okay, right? Okay, let me just play.
Of the Liberty Politics Group, joining us now from Vancouver, Canada. Armin, thank you so much for your time. As you may have heard us discussing, threats from the IRGC against Israel. It's also threatening ships in the Strait of Hormuz. There's a furious Iranian parliament speaker slamming the US. There's still no visible sign of the new supreme leader. Difficult to know who is making decisions for the regime right now. Your thoughts, your take on what is unfolding as we speak.
So inside Iran, it seems like at the moment, Ghalibaf has the upper hand. He recently has managed to get the supreme leadership right before they signed the MOU. He managed to get an endorsement from them. The supreme leadership office, whether Moshtaba is there or not, is basically trying to not pay the price for the MOU not getting signed. That's why they endorsed Ghalibaf before it got signed. And then after it got signed, then they put out a statement saying he disagreed with it. So it was very cowardly, endorsing it before it gets signed, and after it gets signed, being against it was trying to make sure that Ghalibaf gets what he wants, but also the Supreme Leadership Office not paying the price among its followers for actually agreeing with it. Ghalibaf also managed to get the endorsement of Qani, the head of the Quds Force, Mousavi, the head of the aerospace, the Abdullahi, the head of the Khatam al-Anbiya. These are key figures within IRGC, which shows that Ghalibaf so far has the upper hand. Also within the Paidari camp, which is the most against the deal or negotiations, or the most against the MOU, somehow, surprisingly, Ghalibaf managed to get Mir Bagheri, which is a spiritual leader of the Paidari camp. These are the most hardcore people to endorse the negotiations. So far, the signs suggest that Ghalibaf has the upper hand, but he has a difficult job. He's trying to get the negotiations going and the MOU happen, like going along with the MOU, because his understanding is that if the Americans go back to kinetic military operations, he could die, just like Shamkhani and Larijani were killed. So he's basically trying to save himself, but he needs to put out the narrative out there so that internally the people who are pro-regime but also anti-deal, anti-negotiations, he's having a very hard time with them because there's a lot of aggressive regime supporters who are finding it humiliating that not only they're not getting the revenge for the supreme leader, not even for Qasem Soleimani. They were expecting, I don't know, sinking Abraham Lincoln, destroying Israel, killing President Trump. Not only we didn't get any of that, instead we are forced to buy American corn and hay, which they're finding very, very humiliating. They're selling that you're selling the blood of our supreme leader for a bunch of corn, and the member of parliament that you're talking about, I don't know which one you're talking. I'm assuming maybe you're talking about Rasai. These are part of the Paidari camp, which are right now the most aggressive against the MOU. And many of the regime supporters who come out in the streets every night also have the views very close to the Paidari camp. And they also think that the supreme leader has been kidnapped and is hostage, and Ghalibaf is doing a coup against the supreme leader. That's their understanding.
Certainly many tensions within the country and within the regime, as you are outlining there. You talk about concerns with the Memorandum of Understanding. There's much concern here that those funds that Iran will receive will be used to fund terror proxies like Hezbollah and others. Of course, even if Donald Trump believes the money will benefit American farmers, as you alluded to. What do you make of these details emerging and the public assertion from the parliament speaker, Ghalibaf, that Iran will do what it sees fit with its funds? What does that mean to you, your perspective?
So I think Ghalibaf might be counting on the fact that the pro-regime Iranians who are anti the negotiations will not be able to fact check this. I mean, between the White House and Ghalibaf, I'm going to bet on the White House more likely telling us the truth. So if they're saying that this is going to be spent on American food, that's probably what they're going to be spent on. Again, everything is possible, but Ghalibaf lies all the time. I think that he needs to say that so that the pro-regime people and other members of the parliament and the Paidari camp, they don't feel too humiliated. And I think he's relying on the fact that there's no way to check what's happening with the money. But so if that's the case, if that's a good news, but also there's the bad news is that if they're getting food anyways and they can't get food and medicine and nothing else, I mean, they're going to be selling the food and medicine. So at the end of the day, they're going to be getting money for the food and medicine, and that money can then go get spent on drone components and missile components. So this idea that we're not giving them any money to spend on missiles or drone, I don't understand that, because if you give them food and medicine, they have to go sell. They're going to go sell that in the market, either in Iran or in Lebanon, and they're going to get money. I mean, food is fungible, so it's a currency itself. So one way or another, it's going to be turned into drones and missiles, anyways. I mean, we saw that in Gaza with the food that we gave that were donated to people in Gaza. We saw Hamas sold it, tripled the price, and then spent it on rockets against Israel, anyways.
Too true. The country knows that all too well. Thank you so much. We so appreciate your insights and your time. Armin Navabi, live from Vancouver. Thank you for being with us on the Rundown.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking.
How was that?
I think you did great. I think you did very good.
Okay.
It was a lot of information. It was densely packed, but it was said in a simple way. I mean, the names kind of get mixed up for us, but I think, because of the rest of the information was a lot, but it was simple. You kind of got everything that was being put out there. It's densely packed, but good.
So thank you so much. Mentioning the names, I know that it goes over people's heads, but I do think that it also demonstrates that I do have good information. So I have to find a balance of people are like, why are you mentioning these names? It gets too confusing for people. I think mentioning it a little bit shows that the part that is understandable is coming from a source with deep knowledge of the matter.
it might generate interest too. Like you wanna know. Like and repetition helps. Like let's say you don't go too deep into all the names, but you name the main players. If they start hearing it over and over, they're gonna get gollybuff. Okay, that's the like I've heard about this guy 3 or 4 times. That's been mentioned around, so people become more familiar with it. The more familiar with it they get, the more they interact with it. So I think that's one of the main ways. That's why I said it's simple, because you didn't mention a whole lot of names. You mentioned the most important players. And in this type of guest appearance, I think it's very important. And I commend you for it. I think you did a really good job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to show you the memes, but before I do that, we got a super chat that we need to respond to. How do you pronounce his name? Stuart?
Yeah, Stuart Harrington.
Stuart. Thank you so much, Stuart, saying a ship was attacked in Strait today. U.S. response. So here's the news that I think you're talking about. Cargo ship hit by unknown projectile off Oman. So let's see what happened. A cargo vessel was struck by an unknown projectile off the coast of Oman on Thursday. So basically just now, right? Causing damage to its bridge, but leaving no reported casualties or environmental impact. The UK Maritime Trade Operations said. The British Maritime Security Agency said the incident occurred at 2:10 p.m. UTC, about 7.5 nautical miles. Did I pronounce that right? Yeah, southeast of Oman, Dahit, Oman. A cargo vessel had been hit on the starboard side by unknown projectile, causing damage to the bridge. That's what it's the shipmaster. Okay, so a cargo ship was hit, unknown projectile. That's basically the gist of it. So here's the thing. This is probably, in my opinion, if I had to guess, some angry rogue IRGC people within the regime who are angry with the MOU. That's what I think. And I also think that the American intelligence knows that this is not Ghalibaf. This is basically some angry rogue. Because look at it. It was a pathetic attempt anyways. And I think President Trump if they respond, is going to be symbolic, nothing big, or just not respond at all. I don't think this is big enough for for President Trump to want to ruin the direction that things are going. What do you think?
I think we're not done taking the IRGC money and turning it into subsidies for the U.S. Once that's done, we can use things like this. Say, okay, so you're getting nothing and we're keeping the money.
Yeah, okay.
But not right now.
But I also think that President Trump doesn't see this as Ghalibaf violating their agreements. I think he knows that these are rogue anti-MOU IRGC segments of the Islamic Republic. That's why they're not going to let this. Yeah,
completely agree. I was just adding to it, but I completely agree.
Okay. Ida with a super chat. Thank you so much, Ida. Saying, well done, Armin. Oh, thank you. Very good interview. I just was worried that you weren't breathing. Okay. Yeah, next time I need to slow down maybe and breathe. And thank you. Oh my god. Here's the thing. I have so much to say and I have so little time, so I'm trying to get it all out. But yeah, I should slow down probably. Anyways, let's look at some Iranian memes about the current agreement. So here I showed you some yesterday, but I have some fresh new ones. So this is I like this one. This one is special. So we had images like this made by pro-regime people, but with missiles by Zulfiqar missiles behind them, to show the strength of Ali Khamenei and the strength of the Islamic Republic. So now the Iranians have gone and you lost your missiles, you got corn instead. I love this one. This is pretty good. Guys, these memes that the Iranian people are making against the regime. These are weapons. these are weapons of psychological warfare, because remember, like the stream that we did yesterday with Ali, you saw how many of the pro regime people are finding all of this humiliating. So we need to put salt in their wound and basically continue the humiliation. They need to feel the pain, right? So this is really good.
I have a question
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah. Okay.
You know a little bit about AI, so I have a this is going to be a deep question, right? Can you make corn and hey dar using AI? Hey dar.
The problem is that hey in Persian is yonje, not haydar. Hey. So, but that's a good idea. Hey, haydar. Yes, something.
No, make it work in Persian, like whatever, like just the style. Just use their Haydar style, but make fun of what's going on. Like hey, you know what? Hey, this is pretty bad. You know, something like this, but like a counter Haydar song, or a song that's
Oh,
ultra Durka Haydar. That's
wait,
like making fun of
we already
what's going
have
on.
that. Oh my god, it's in Persian though. I should find it. Let me ask my friend. یه آهنگ هست ساختن درباره اینا، نمیدونم داریش نه، مسخره دارن میکنن اینا رو. اگه داری برام اینو بفرست. Okay, I have my research team look into that. Wait, I think somebody already sent this to me. Who was it? Was it Nail Bunny? I forgot who it was. Yeah, they're very upset. Somebody, I know what you're talking about. Somebody made a song about this, but it's in Persian. Anyways, I'll see if I could find it. Let me go over here. So this is Ghalibaf's daughter, and he's actually like a big personality in Iran. He's kind of like a celebrity. She's known for her, the way she talks is like LA girl. I don't know what that. I don't know, Cali girl. She talks like a Cali girl, right? It's weird, very weird. She has a Cali girl accent. So this is a lot more funny for people who know her and her personality. But again, so they have this meme of her eating popcorn.
I would
So,
like
guys,
totally like to know what a Valley accent sounds like in Persian.
Yeah, Valley girl. Yes, Valley girl. Exactly. Sorry, that's the word. Sorry. She speaks Persian with a Valley girl accent, which also shows that the daughters of these rich, powerful people are very much connected to the outside world, and they have that lifestyle, and they just wear the chador just for, the media. But anyways, so she is. Okay, so this next one is my favorite. Okay. This next one. This is the site of the Supreme Leadership Office being blown up. So this is the before picture. And then the Supreme Leadership Office being, the Beta Raspberry being blown up. And you got all of these popcorns coming out of it. Supreme Leader made out of corn, blowing him up. Who produced this result. So I like this one.
I'm muting myself, but I'm laughing.
Don't mute yourself. This is good.
It's pretty funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And then, so wait, let me show you the original and then what they created after. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so there was a picture. Let me download this. So this one is not the meme, but they turned it into a meme. I'll show you the original and then the meme after. So yeah, this was the original. A lot of pro-regime people were posting this and crying about it, like saying, "Oh my God, look at this! This is so sad." The person who posted this was saying, "Like my heart is burning." This is Ali Khamenei and Raisi, with Qasem Soleimani, his picture being there in the middle because President Trump killed him. And then we had Raisi dying in a helicopter, so-called accident. So his picture is here. Ali Khamenei is alive. And then here we have Ali Khamenei's picture on the table instead. So this was a meme that pro-regime people were sharing around as a sad thing, like, oh my God, so sad. And then the anti-regime Iranians should replace it with this, right? So like, okay, this is the first picture. This is the second picture, Ali Khamenei. And then the third picture is Ghalibaf on the throne, on the chair.
Oh,
and
nice.
corn. This is the corn that he got from Americans. Okay. So this is Ghalibaf winning. And then we have this, corny memes. Exactly. These are corny, very corny. Right. Okay. And then we have this one. Here's another meme. So this is Jamhuriya Islami. So this is the Islamic Republic. And this girl over here is Uranium, the Strait of Hormuz, and Mushali, Ali Khamenei. And this girl in red is Yonja Hay. Okay. So the Islamic
That's corn and hay.
No, just hay. So the Islamic Republic is giving up the control over the strait, Ali Khamenei, and uranium, and it got hay in return. So that's another meme. And then we have this meme. Okay, so this is the Islamic Republic saying that the nuclear energy is our definite right, like we have the right to have nuclear energy. And then it says we gave it up for hay. Okay, so yes, it started that we are not going to give up on nuclear energy, and then now the situation that they have is that we gave it up for hay. And here's another version of that same meme. This is Ali Khamenei saying there will be no war and there will be no negotiations. And now he's saying they gave me up, they sold me out for hay. So there's another version of that. This one is still from yesterday. I showed you this one for the popcorns. I still love this one. I don't know why I love this one so much, but I love this one. It's pretty well made. And okay, this is the thing that this is interesting because this is the left one was a meme or was an image that pro-regime Iranians made, and it says Bezudi soon, basically saying we will invade Jerusalem soon. And Ali Khamenei, this was their dream. They promised that this will happen. Like soon we will take over Israel, and Ali Khamenei will be praying in Jerusalem. So this is the promise that they made, but this is actually what's maybe you get this instead.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
100%. And I love this one. Okay, so before I show you the next one, I have to tell you that there's an official narrative within the Islamic Republic that Ali Khamenei, when he was born, a miracle happened. Ali Khamenei. So when he came out of his mother's womb, as a baby, as an infant, he said, Ya Ali, means oh Ali, like that. And that's the reason why they gave him the name Ali, because within seconds after he was born, like right after he was born, he spoke as an infant and he called upon the name of Ali, the first Imam of Shia Muslims. And that's why his parents gave him the name Ali Khamenei, right? So that gives you the explanation of this next
Is
meme.
that plausible? I think a baby could make that noise. Fine. That doesn't mean that he knew what he was saying.
Yeah. So they turned it into this meme with a baby corn from his mother saying Yo Ali. It's kind of cute.
Oh, he's the children of the corn.
Yeah. So there's that. Oh my god. So
that's cute.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah, I say cute. This is the first time I kind of feel like Ali Khamenei looks kind of cute. Anyways, so these are the memes I had. I do have 2 videos I want to share with you guys. So let me go through that. Okay. So first of all, this mullah is coming out, and this mullah, I think he's defending Ghalibaf. Oh yeah, he's defending Ghalibaf. Let me play this. Okay, he's not mentioning Ghalibaf, but you could tell by what he's saying is defending him.
آقا خیلی زشته امروز وقتی توافقنامه صحبت میشه جوری درباره توافقنامه حرف میزنیم که انگار حضرت آقا رهبری عزیزمون رو گذاشتن تو یک قفس در و بستن بهش گفتن
ببخشید ما یه چند روزی کار داریم میریم انجام میدیم میایم.
So it's like these days, people are talking about the MOU signed with the Americans as if we have put our supreme leader into a cage and we closed the cage and we told our supreme leader, like, stay here for a few days. We have some work to do and we'll come back to you. They're saying this is the way that we're talking about the MOU, right? Which is interesting because you know why he's saying that? Basically, what he's suggesting is that stop attacking Ghalibaf as if the supreme leader is against what he's doing. Like, our supreme leader is not that weak. Like, the way you're talking about our supreme leader being against the MOU, you're making it sound like our supreme leader can be caged or something, right? So let's continue with this.
روزی کار داریم میریم انجام میدیم میایم.
کیا دارن حرف میزنن؟ کسی به عنوان نماینده مجلس تو بیخود میکنی نسبت به رهبری کشور چنین ایدئولوژی رو مطرح میکنی؟
Like, who is saying stuff like this? People like members of parliament are saying this. You have you have no right. You're like, you should shut the fuck up, basically talking about spreading such an ideology about our supreme leader. So he's attacking the Paidari camp people, the Durka people who are against the MOU, okay, and attacking the MOU, saying like, oh my God, they're doing a coup d'etat against our supreme leader. Our supreme leader doesn't want this. He's saying you're making our supreme leader basically look weak, and you're spreading this ideology, and you should shut up, basically.
تو غلط اضافه میکنی وقتی نسبت به مسئول اول کشور ما چنین نگاهی رو مطرح میکنی و
like, you're basically speaking, you are attacking the highest official in our country. So he's kind of defending Ghalibaf without mentioning him. I think he's been paid by Ghalibaf. That's what I'm thinking.
آقا رو تضعیف میکنی.
And you're weakening our Lord, our supreme leader.
آقایی که توییت میزنه، آقایی که حرف میزنه، آقایی که رسانه داره و من امروز
like our supreme leader tweets. It's like our supreme leader tweets. Our supreme leader has media. So why are you speaking on his behalf when our supreme leader can tweet? By the way, this isn't just, you know how that analyst earlier when I was playing for you guys said like people don't have access to Twitter in Iran. Like, this guy is bragging about the supreme leader, saying our supreme leader tweets. That's what he says. You could actually hear his words. They're like, stop acting like our supreme leader cannot speak for himself. He tweets. Look at this.
و آقا رو تضعیف میکنی. آقایی که توییت میزنه،
See, آقایی که tweet میزنه. So our supreme leader tweets.
Like, he tweets to our people. He's not tweeting into the darkness. He's not tweeting to the outside world. He tweets at you. He talks to you. You should listen to him because he's tweeting at you, basically.
Yeah, he's tweeting. Our supreme leader tweets. He can speak for himself. Stop speaking for him.
آقایی که حرف میزنه، آقایی که رسانه داره و من امروز عرض میکنم مردم، رهبری ایران تنها انسانی است. ببین چی دارم میگم.
Like, I'm going to tell you something. Our supreme leader is the only person. Listen to what I'm saying. He's saying, listen to what I'm saying. Our supreme leader is the only human on earth.
انسانی است در این کره زمین که
the only human on this planet earth that
این همه حامی انسانی داره.
that has this many followers, human followers. I don't know, as opposed to what, but he's the only person on earth who has this many human supporters.
در طول تاریخ بشریت کسی رو کره زمین نداریم که این همه انسان حامیش باشن.
Like, within the history of mankind, within the entire history, we have never had anybody that has this many people who are supporting him. No, within all the history of civilization, nobody had as many supporters as our supreme leader.
110 شب مردم ایستادن.
به رهبر کشورشون میگه ما جان فدای شما هستیم. بعد
What? Okay, he's saying the people. Okay, what the fuck is he talking about?
What about the Pope?
I don't know. No, I think look he's delusional.
کره زمین نداریم که این همه انسان حامیش باشن.
110 شب مردم ایستادن.
به رهبر کشور
said it that I don't know. He's saying basically they're willing to give up their lives for him. So I think if you say he give up him, what about the Pope? I think he's gonna be like, yeah, none of people who follow the Pope, they're not ready to die for the Pope. Like, for
life lovers.
Yes, life lovers, exactly. For my supreme leader, people will die for him. That's what he would say.
میگه ما جان فدای شما هست. بعد شما به عنوان یک مسئولی که من میگم نمیفهمید، اگر بفهمید با مردم اینطوری برخورد نمیکنید. به رهبری کشور دارید این حرف رو منتسب میکنید و این نگاه رو به آقا، یعنی به مردم، به خورد مردم میدید که آقا رهبر کشور ما مظلوم است، برایش داد بکشید.
آقا
So he's saying, like, the way you're talking, you're making it seem like our supreme leader is a victim. You should be basically fighting for him because he's being a victim. Like, you're basically making him look so weak.
من چنین رهبر مظلومی رو نمیخوام.
Like, I don't want a supreme leader who is a victim like this. Like, if you're acting like our supreme leader is such a victim, I wouldn't want a supreme leader like that.
من امامی نژاد چنین رهبر مظلومی رو نمیخوام که جایی که میتونه توییت بزنه مسئولین دارن علیه شما مردم کار میکنن و نزنه. آقا
like a supreme leader who can tweet, and you have the officials working against the people, and you're saying our supreme leader who could tweet about it, but it's not tweeting about it, even though the officials are against the people. So basically, you are claiming that the officials like Ghalibaf, Arakshi, Pezeshkian are working against the people, but our supreme leader who can tweet about it is not tweeting about it. By the way, it's very interesting that he keeps saying Twitter, because Twitter is illegal in Iran, right? But they all know, like, there are social media that is made by the Islamic Republic that is approved by the Islamic Republic, but they know that most people don't use that. So he keeps saying that tweeting, right? Like, our supreme leader can tweet, and he could tweet that, but you're saying he's not? Like, what kind of a weak supreme leader is that?
I'd like to bring another point. He keeps talking about tweeting. Why doesn't he talk? Why doesn't he come on a camera? Maybe that's why the people don't believe you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's actually, you're right. That's what they're saying. Some anti-deal pro-regime people are saying, how the fuck do we know that he's the one tweeting? What if Ghalibaf might be tweeting? Maybe Ghalibaf is doing the tweeting.
Even if he was a bad speaker, that would just prove it's him.
Yeah, exactly. So let's continue.
چون من 110 شب پای این نظام ایستادم، اومدم تو خیابون، داد زدم مرگ بر آمریکا. داد زدم مرگ بر آمریکا.
من like I came out what?
بعد نزنه. آقا من نمیخوام. چون من 110 شب پای این نظام
like I wouldn't want a supreme leader like that who wouldn't come out and tweet about this, because me personally have been outside in the streets for 110 days shouting death to America. So it's like, if me as a mullah can go into the streets for the past 110 days and every single night go out there and say death to America, why would I accept a supreme leader that can't just tweet that, oh, I don't agree with what the officials are doing?
نظام ایستادم، اومدم تو خیابون، داد زدم مرگ بر آمریکا. داد زدم مرگ بر آمریکا.
من چنین رهبر مظلومی رو نمیخوام.
I wouldn't want a victim leader like that.
من مقتدره. این جوون
the supreme leader I believe in is strong.
نایی که اومدن نشستن پاکار این نظامن، پاکار این انقلابن، پاکار این مردمن، پاکار هر مستضعفی تو این عالمن. مردم امشب عرض میکنم.
Anyways, the rest is BS. But the interesting thing is that this is kind of goes against Shia ideology, what he's saying, right? Because he's saying, I don't want a leader who's like being a victim and he's being like oppressed like that. But the thing is that Shia Muslims believe in Ali, Imam Ali, who was a victim, who was the people went against them, who he was suppressed based on their own idea. And Hussein was Mazlum, like a victim. Ali was all the Shia Imams, all 12 of them were victims of the people at their time. So I don't know why he says I don't want a victim leader, given that the 12 Imams of Shia, 12 of Shia Islam, every single one of them, based on their stories, was a victim. So there's that. I don't know. That's weird. So that goes against their ideology. But
they are the more emotional camp, the more like versus the Sunnis are more emotional, more,
Yeah, they are. They're crybabies. They're crybabies. Okay, let's go to somebody talked about JD Vance in the chat. I don't know where that comment went. Hold on. I'm gonna play this. Didn't somebody say about JD Vance something? Okay, I noticed somebody said in the chat regarding JD Vance saying something new, and that people don't, let's I haven't listened to this, but I found a clip. Let's respond to it. Let's see what he's saying and then respond to it.
It's just not the case that every criticism of Bibi Netanyahu's policy decisions leads to anti-Semitism or is anti-Semitic.
Now he's talking about the second mistake. He's referring to allegations of anti-Semitism every time someone criticizes that relationship, the relationship between America and the US. So he mentioned it as something that conflated over time, but it's a deliberate policy. Why do I say that? Let's take a practical example. Former Israeli minister.
Wait, I don't want to hear. I don't
24.
I don't want to listen to you. I want to listen to JD Vance. Okay, let's just. I don't know if this was the clip or not. But what do you think? What do you say about this? When people say like, "Oh,
that he put in a straw man," and yeah, it's every time that's a straw man. I mean, he made a straw man and then he fought it.
Yeah, like has Netanyahu ever come out and say, "If you criticize me, you're being an anti-Semite"? Like, has he said that once? Like one time?
I don't know that anyone in the government has said that.
Yeah, so what are you even fucking responding to? Unbelievable. Let me see. Okay, let me respond to some super chats. Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much. Saying may reduce traffic. Operators are very risk averse. Oh yeah, the attack that we just saw on this ship, this one. A cargo ship hit by unknown projectile off Oman. Yeah, that might. Is that going to make the? Let's look at the oil prices and see if it's going to affect that. Yeah, so this might be the reason. That news might be the reason behind this going up. I mean, we're still look at this. We were at 72, and now we're at 74. So this rise, month over month, we are down 13%. But that projectile, let me remove this. But if you look at the 1 day chart, you can see that we were all the way down to 72. That's fucking crazy. But now we're going up because of that attack. Yeah.
I would want to know how much of that is outgoing and how much is ingoing, because outgoing is definitely going to lower the price of oil, of gas, of Brent, but ingoing would indicate stability. Because you're only going in if you have insurance. Well, China would go in. IRGC would move their votes, but not the rest of the market.
Any activity there will make everybody reconsider moving through there. Any military act, any projectile hitting any ship will make everybody, no matter which direction it's going, makes the Strait of Hormuz seem less safe, and more people would want to avoid it, right?
I mean, like European traffic, like a lot of Europe that's one of the things that got hit hardest with this. Europe got a lot of its oil from there. So if European companies and a lot of commerce from that side were not trusting enough to go in, that would be an indicator for me, not an indicator of like overall traffic instability, but of traffic instability from the side that doesn't have connection to the IRGC.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, any activity means less safety. Less safety means like less movement. Less movement means less supply. Less supply means higher prices. This news is fresh. It's pretty new. This just happened a few hours ago. So we'll see the impact on it on Brent. But I'm pretty sure right now behind the scenes, the Americans and Ghalibaf are talking, and there's really regarding what just happened, and the Americans are pressuring Ghalibaf to do more to stop stuff like this from happening. And Ghalibaf is telling the Americans, like, look, what the fuck do you want me to do? I can't, how could I stop every single, how easy it is to just get a drone and then just make it go towards a ship in the Persian Gulf? Like, how am I supposed to stop every single IRGC fucker within southern Iran, in the middle of the forest or something, just, firing at a drone at a ship? Like, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, by the way, that sound means that we have to go get ready for our school discussion. So let me just quickly answer the super chats. Oh, guys, by the way, today we're gonna, in 10 minutes, we're gonna go to our group call. So if you guys want to join, that starts in 10 minutes. If you don't want to join, watch it on. Okay, your mic is open. Okay, I'm gonna close your mic for you. Okay. All right. So in 10, if you don't want to participate in our group call, just watch it here. The next stream, which starts in 10 minutes, you could watch our discussion live on the Liberty Politics YouTube channel. Oh, I need to also market here. Just do an ad. Guys, this is Grease Monkey's YouTube channel. So we're live streaming there as well right now. And you guys should go support him. He has 1 subscriber. 1.
Yes.
I think,
Also,
right?
1 watcher. I'm watching me. I'm a big fan of me.
So guys, let's go change that. Let's get him from 1 subscriber, which is me, to 10 subscribers at least, right? So I put the link in the chat. We're going to try to get him to 100 and then to 1,000. But link is in the chat. Go and support his YouTube channel. Let's get his channel to 1,000 so that he could monetize it. All right, so let me actually put it again. Subbed? Okay, people are already subbed. That's fantastic. Let me see. How many do you have now?
To be fair, Armin is a bigger fan of me than me.
Oh my God. Yeah, we need to change that, by the way. Okay, look, you have 9 subscribers now. 9 already. You got to 9. So,
that is awesome.
Let's get it to 100, and then we'll slowly make it all the way to 1,000. There we go. Fantastic. Oh, look at this. Hey, look, people are commenting from your side. This is people from your side commenting on your chat. Okay, that's good. Done. There we go. Okay, let's refresh again. Okay, you're at 28 subscribers. So we're already 1/3 of the way to your first 100. Okay, wow. Okay, let me put the link in the chat one more time. So
I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody. Thanks.
Yeah, look at this. So it's Motorpool Grease Monkey. That's the channel. Motorpool Grease Monkey. Okay, guys, we're gonna get him to 1,000 so he can start monetizing it. And we should get people to tell your story as much as you want at some point, so people are more familiar with who you are and what you do and everything like that. Okay, so
I used to fix tanks in the army. That's about it.
Well, no, we want to go into more. I'll talk to you with regards to how much you want to share, because your story is fascinating, but I'm not going to push you right now. We'll talk about how much you're comfortable with sharing. But guys, so this is our discussion group, and then we're going to go live on Liberty Politics in 7 minutes, and you guys could watch our discussion over there, or you could join the discussion. The link to the discussion group, let me actually put that as well in the chat. For you guys, if you want to come join there, the link is in the QR code at the top left. The link is in the chat. The link is in the description. The link is also in the bio section of the Liberty Politics YouTube channel. All right, let me read the super chats and then we'll go and start that going. Koala Katie, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, if Mushaba is dead, do you think they can keep this up long term? I know the Durka are ignorant, but eventually someone will catch on. If I was them, this is what I would do. If he's dead, at some point I will make an explosion or something, and then be like, "Oh no, they got him! Oh no, so sad. He dead. He was alive all of this time." So I will wait until I have complete control over everything, and then I will set up an explosion or something and be like, "Oh no, so sad. He dead now." That's what I would do.
They'll blame Mossad.
Yeah, blame Mossad. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to blame Mossad, because then they're gonna be like, well, then let's go, fuck Israel up then. So maybe, if I was Ghalibaf, I would like, it was, anti-regime Iranians. That's what I would do, right? Because if I say it's Mossad, then these people are gonna be like, oh my God, then go, like, they killed the second supreme leader, another supreme leader. Let's go, like, you have to get revenge. So I think the best thing, I would blame the MEK, maybe the MEK, or basically internal opposition. I would blame the internal Iranian opposition. That would be the best way to be. Oh fuck this! Oh shit! I shouldn't even say this. Unfortunately,
I know where you're going.
Yeah. This is what I would do. I would say that it was internal opposition, and then I would execute. I would just arrest some people and execute them, and be like, we got them. I would just go find some people, arrest them, and I would say it was them, and then I would execute them, and we're like, they killed the supreme leader, and we got their revenge. We executed them. That's what I would do. Fuck. Shit.
You're just being a realist.
Yeah. Fucking hell. I know, now that I think about it, I could tell that that's exactly what they would do. And Justin, thank you so much for the super chat saying Koala Kate. So Justin was responding to Koala Kate. He's saying, I agree. I know we're all wanting this over with, but everything the Islamic Republic is currently doing is just unsustainable. The fall of Islamic Republic is coming. I agree with that. I just don't know when. I do agree with that though. Yeah, and I think the time it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. Anyways, that was pretty good. I think we did very well. This was our first live stream with each other. How did you like it?
I want to say something to the people. Okay. This Armin has made me believe in myself in a way that I haven't in a long time, allowing me to speak, to share my thoughts. I really appreciate Armin. All right, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna cry, but you know, I definitely got a feel stuck in my throat like a knot, making it hard to breathe. That a person, you know, has put this much faith in me, and I want to just, you know, share love, share appreciation. I want everybody to show some love, show some appreciation to Armin for believing in people, for giving us a chance, having us in the group discussion to express ourselves and let us grow. I just want to really give a shout out, a thanks, a virtual hug. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna give you a virtual hug right now. I'm squeezing. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. People are saying we love you, Sketch. You're good at this, Sketch. And also here, Amir was saying, Sketch, you were very, very good. Yes, you were. I think he's a natural. I think he's gonna go places. Oh, look at this. Saying thanks for loving us, Vets Armin. Aw. So thank you, guys. I really do believe Sketch's channel is gonna grow. He's really, really good at what he does. And you know, I thought it's a shame that he doesn't have an audience. He doesn't have his own audience. So now, you know, we could change that together. All right, guys. Oh, we got one more
last minute super chats. Oh,
yes, Sarah, thank you so much. Saying Armin, the people
arm the people.
Arm the people video. Sorry, I just saw my own name. Arm the people videos, please. Love you, Armin. Yes, I have more. I will post them. Thank you, Sarah. I will do that. Thank you for the reminder, for sure. All right, guys. So we're gonna go, and oh my god, I have to start the next stream in 2 minutes. So yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. So until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainie, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javicha Payandera. See you guys in 2 minutes.